This episode of Bullet Heaven was made possible by 17-Bit. In episode 140 of Bullet Heaven HD, we took a look at Galak-Z the Dimensional, a roguelike style space shooter that ended up being really great despite its complex control scheme. Developer 17-Bit had planned a final 5th season to cap it all off, but things have changed, maybe for the better. Galak-Z the Void sees ATAC flying into a never-ending battle against his nemesis in the titular Void. This new add-on twists the overall structure of Galak-Z into something totally new, so let's take a closer look.
Taking Imperial fire! Shields out!
For those of you who haven't seen a review proper on Galak-Z back in episode 140, go ahead and do that now. All of the core mechanics and controls of the game are examined in great detail there. Go ahead, we'll wait. Back again? Okay, let's go. The Void started off as the 5th season to Galak-Z proper, but 17-Bit decided to change things up with an infinite mode style score attack instead, due to fan demand. When we spoke with 17-Bit's Jake Hasdall at PAX Prime 2014, we had wondered if there was ever going to be a score system applied to Galak-Z. The randomized roguelike nature of the game didn't really allow for it. The new Void mode has allowed for a scoring system to be implemented though, and it really changes how the game plays in a couple of ways. Not control-wise, mind you, just in terms of tactics and risk-reward. Players still progress stage by stage while taking out enemies and traversing a randomized void area on the hunt through multiple dimensions for ATAC's nemesis, the Baron. Between stages, once again, salvage can be used at Crash's shop to enhance your already sweetly upgraded ship. As players progress through the stages, additional enhancements can also be picked up just like in the main game. However, there are no checkpoints in this particular mode. Of course, the difficulty has been greatly increased with the same kind of dastardly AI and enhanced enemy ships that you'd expect. The more powerful they are, the higher the score. Players need to watch out for additional hazards though. The stage constantly shifts and rotates, which can easily disorient a player, and flying into the rift's walls can super duper kill you. In addition to your typical Void runs, there's also a daily challenge option that has players attack the game with a very specific weapon loadout. And of course, throughout all of it, the main emphasis is the scoring. But there was one interesting issue that arose. The longer we played, the more the frame rate would dip. It was a constant decrease from one stage to the next and only remedied through restarting the game, and it definitely wasn't there before. This is definitely an important issue that needs to be fixed as soon as possible.
Nothing on my radar.
Since Galak-Z the Void is essentially the same stage over and over with progressively harder enemies to take care of, scoring now takes a central focus rather than the gameplay. But because of the crazy tough AI in Galak-Z as it is, just going in and taking out all of the enemies you see can sometimes be a bad idea, especially if you've been away from the game like we have. There's a lot of rust to shake off if you're just diving in after 7 months, so carefully and methodically taking foes out can boost the score as well. Of course, stage progression can also be hampered by taking too much damage when trying to score through enemy destruction alone, so pitting foes against each other adds nicely to the score as well, which is a nice touch. In addition, you'll get much more score if you collect a bunch of salvage as well. At the end of each stage, ATAC will blast by just like in the main game, and a score tally for the stage will appear on screen in big flashing numbers. But that's pretty much all there is to it. Defeat as many enemies as possible, collect as much salvage as you can, maybe defeat the Baron, and make it through as many stages as your skill will allow. It all works the same in both the main Void Run mode and the daily challenge. Nothing too explosive in terms of complexity, just a basic, fun, challenging score attack. Players' scores are posted to an online leaderboard immediately to show how you stack up. In Daily Challenge, scores for that day are posted and maintained for at least a short while. Online leaderboards also update for players as to do better in the main Void mode as well, with your score forever being maintained until you do better. A worse score is never uploaded. The presentation of Galak-Z the Void is as you'd expect coming from 17-bit. It features the same kind of awesome visual effects, sound, and voice work that players already know and love, plus a cool new VHS quality intro that explains what's going on in the Void with a quick explanation as to what the point is. Pretty neat. The BGM track for the Void is also pretty kickin'. It works really well for the setting. Of course, once again, the bizarre gradual performance dip is kind of a bothersome thing, so hopefully it's ironed out soon. So how does this downloadable addition to Galak-Z the Dimensional fare? Let's take a quick look.
There's no escape! Taking damage! It's getting kinda heavy. My shield to blow! No shields! Stupid Empire! I've got you now!
As was the case with the original release, the controls will definitely take time to reacclimate to if you've been away from the game. Galak-Z somehow becomes even harder than before in the Void. Plenty of challenge that leads to your inevitable death awaits. The Void can last as long as you can. It could even have been made standalone with its never-ending structure. Visually, the Void might be dark and never changing, but it still looks damn amazing. The sound is as good as ever in the Void, with a snappy BGM selection to boot. There's nothing especially ingenious about the Void's basic structure and score hooks. Just kill enemies and get salvage. That's more or less all there is to it. Of course, the main mechanics do piggyback on the original release, and as such, it's still pretty fresh. Galak-Z the Void adds to the core game in very good ways. Although some players might find its endless nature to be a bit repetitive, many more will find themselves saying, just one more game. The gradual performance decrease does hurt the score beyond the average of the standard criteria. As such, Galak-Z the Void still gets a 4 out of 5. If you haven't checked out Galak-Z to see what it's all about by now, there's good news. You can get Galak-Z with the Void built right in for only $9.99. For players out there that already have Galak-Z, even better news. It should be in your game right now.